Welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to talk about shapes and colors. To draw a shape, you can go to the Shapes tool. One way you can find the Shape tool is by looking into the Tools bar and select that. If that is not selected, then you can just press U from the keyboard. Once you press U from the keyboard, it will get automatically highlighted. Now the Shapes toolbox is highlighted and you can see this small arrow over here which indicates that we have more shapes under this toolbox. We can open that toolbox by click and holding on that, and we will see all the shapes that is provided by Adobe Photoshop. Now if we are going to draw a rectangle, we will select the rectangle tool. We will just click and drag to draw it on the canvas or the document. Once we leave, we will get these points with which we can resize rectangle. So once you are happy with that, you can leave that and you can go to the Layers panel, and I suggest you remove this from Social Icons group and close the group as well. Now you can rename this. Let's just say rectangle, and next we will draw a square. So you can use the same tool to draw a square. All you have to do is just press and hold the Shift key while you draw so that it will be a perfect square. Now to resize the square, you can use the edge and you can use the boxes on the edge and drag, but as this is a square, you have to make sure you press and hold the Shift key while you resize it so that it will retain the shape. Now in order to move the shape, we have to select the Move tool. Go about here and select the Move tool, and now you will be able to move the shapes. Also, you can use your keyboard arrows to move the shape. Now we will again go back to the Layers panel, and then we will select this square and rename it as square. Now let's group the shapes and name the group as shapes. One more thing that you might want to do is rotating the shapes. So in order to rotate a shape, we will, for example, take this rectangle. As you move the mouse around it, you can see that the cursor, the mouse icon changes to a curved arrow, which indicates that it is ready to rotate with that. Now you can just click and rotate with that. While you rotate, if you press and hold the Shift key, it will rotate by 15 degrees, and it will be easier for you to stop at 90 degrees. So make sure you press and hold Shift key while you rotate so that it will help you stop in the right position. Now let's move this down here and we can resize it as well. Next, we will change the color of the shape. To change the color, you can just double click the shape and you can select any color from this rainbow hue to match your need. However, if we move the mouse out of the color picker, we will see a eyedropper tool which will help us pick a color from the image over here. So in that case, if you want, you can select this color or maybe this, and any color that you want to take from the image in your design. For the time, we'll keep it with this color. Click OK. Now let's select the square and we will move it right above the rectangle. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to add a stroke to the square. To do that, we can select the properties panel and we can add a stroke. As you can see, we have a stroke right now as well, but it is 1 pixel. That is why maybe we are not able to see that. However, we will change the color of the square as well. First, we will turn off the fill color by clicking this white square with red cross line which says no color. Then we will change the color for the stroke as well. Again, we are going to pick a color from the design or background. Now I want to increase the pixel so that I can see the stroke that we are adding. Now if you want to zoom, you can use zoom tool with the magnifying glass icon. Otherwise, you can just press Command or Control plus or minus to zoom out, plus to zoom in. And if you want to fit the canvas or the document to the window, you can just press and hold Command O. For now, I'll just make it smaller. As you can see, we have a radius in our square and rectangle. If you don't want that radius on your square or rectangle, you can select the shape, and from the properties you can scroll down and you will see this part over there. If you want, you can keep the radius for top and left corner and remove from top and right corner, but in this case I want to remove the radius from all the corners. I will just change it to 0. Now as you can see, we don't have any radius on our corners. Next thing that what I want to show you is alignment. As we know, we can align our objects by just moving and with the help of these indicators. Besides that, we have one very helpful tool which will help us align the objects. So if I want to align this shape to the middle of a rectangle, we can select both and then we can use these alignment options. We will meet again in the next lesson, in which we will talk about text, inshallah.